Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time for James. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, rankings, lists, whatever it may be, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the film Babe from 1995, which is a sweet, innocent type of movie that is actually trying to do a decent job developing characters, whether it be the runt lead character Babe, whether it be this one dog that kind of Babe looks to her as a mom because he has no one else left. Other dog, actually voiced by Hugo Weaving, that you find out has a bit of a backstory where he was a sheepdog and then one point sheep drowned, almost drowned, and his ear was messed up and he couldn't barely hear the masters anymore. Like the fact they're giving that much of a backstory to a dog in a kid's film is one of the various things that makes a movie like this work. And I know the guy who directed hasn't really gone on to do much afterward. Some say he was railroaded by the producer George Miller. Because is he like George Miller? Some people say George Miller. Again, yes, the same George Miller who directed the Mad Max films. That he deserves more credit for the Babe films, and he actually directed the sequel, Babe, Pig in the City. Which I don't know why it always weirds me out that the Mad Max guy directed kids films like that, and I think he did Happy Feet. I think. So it's just like, okay, very different movies. But again, the director's like, George Miller wanted to take credit, but I did some stuff, and George Miller was like, well, I gave him everything on the plate, he just had to shoot it. I don't know all that stuff. There hasn't really been a full breakdown documentary of it, although I would watch it, because I like that kind of drama, like hearing about it. But the plot of the film is the runt Babe at a fair is won by James Cromwell, who takes him home to the farm. The Babe is voiced by Christine Cavanaugh, and the voice I knew sounded familiar. If you remember the cartoon Rugrats, Chucky, the one with glasses, that's Christine Cavanaugh. She voices Babe, but she's not in the sequel. I think sadly she's passed away now. But I don't know if she was alive when the sequel happened. If so, I don't know why they didn't bring her. I think, actually no. From what I remember reading, she was alive when the sequel happened, but then she didn't come back to some kind of contract dispute. Although the voice in the second film worked fine as well. But it amazes me watching the film again how the effects still hold up fairly well. Where they take real animals, sometimes animatronics, and they make the mouth move along with the dubbing, the voices, and it very solid stuff. And it's just, number one, this is a better usage of it than Eddie Murphy's Dr. Dolittle films, which came out after this. And it amazes me to look at that film Dolittle, the film that I'm sure you didn't remember until I fucking mentioned it. Oh yeah, that was a thing. And that cost what, hundreds of millions of dollars, and that did not look nearly as good as this stuff where you have real animals and you have them trained and interact with different animals and different events, and you train them well enough, you take your time, because it's going to be time consuming regardless if you go in that direction, because the animal may want to go left, right, up, down. Okay, do it again, take two, take three, take four, but when it works, you cannot get more real than real. And again, the way they make the voices work, it still holds up to this day. And the whole thing has this fairy tale aspect from time to time you have these little mice kind of being a choir within the different chapters of the film. And it's a sweet movie. It's a sweet, heartfelt movie. From, the duck who wants to think of himself as a rooster so that he has a place so that he doesn't get eaten, to the mama, her dogs, her puppies get given away. She's sad. And Babe comes up and goes, "Can I call you Mom?" And immediately the dog licks him. No words, no dialogue to ruin the moment. And like, okay, again, it's sweet, it's heartfelt. Finally, Babe starts showcasing that he's got more of a purpose. And James Cromwell, the farmer, realizes there's something a bit more to this pig. And instead of having a sheepdog, you have a sheep pig, which he gets laughed at, but he's able to herd the sheep at the end. It all works out well. Anyway, it doesn't talk down to the audience. It does go into the idea that, yes, pigs are eaten, and Babe finds that out and doesn't want to eat. And the farmer, he just decides to act goofy and crazy to showcase that, there's more. There's not just looking at him as food. Because then the farmer starts singing and dancing and then feeds him, and it all works out. The music works in that fairy tale, whimsical nature of it. The voices of the animals, like the backstabbing salaciousness of the cat, or the goofy duck, or then the sweet mother figure of the dog. And again, it doesn't talk down to the audience where you think Babe's going to get killed, but then they kill another animal, granted off screen, because they got to know that. But they are, family that does eat meat, like me, like you, like anybody and everybody else. And it goes by a quick pace. It's not too long of a film, Babe. It's not too long of a film at all. I know the sequel, a lot of people had issues with it because the sequel is a bit darker. And James actually paid for a request for the sequel as well, and I saw it. I didn't mind the sequel for what it was. I would say I liked the first one more. How it's contained on the farm, and it just seemed much more of a simpler, the sequel, it tries to be a lot more loony, a lot more zany. I mean, with the ending where the mama, the wife of the farmer has these suspenders, is going along the room, bouncing off the walls, like a live action cartoon. Again, this one is much more of a simpler movie, and I think that made it a little bit more appealing compared to the second. But the second one I didn't hate. The second one I thought was pretty decent as well. But like I said, the first one, I keep harping on it's got a sweet innocence to it. It's definitely worthwhile for kids to watch. But as an adult, it didn't throw in fucking piss jokes, shit jokes, puke jokes like fucking the Doolittle movies did. Both Eddie Murphy and Robert Downey Jr.'s Doolittle had a fucking scene where Robert Downey Jr. is doing a rectal exam on a fucking dragon and pulling shit out of its ass until it releases a long fart. Robert Downey Jr.'s face. Because Iron Man himself pulled out a fucking stack of armor and, I don't know, a butt plug and whatever the fuck else he pulled out of the dragon. And then Dr. Doolittle, it's Eddie Murphy try to do CPR and the mouse farted. Oh, he just had gas. This doesn't do that. So it wasn't annoying. It wasn't irritating. And even the way the farm looks, it does hone in on that fairy tale aspect. Even with the way the font of the text, trying to have that whimsical nature. Like, you're almost surprised there wasn't a once upon a time at the beginning of the picture. Unless there was, I totally blanked out on it. So overall, Babe, it's a sweet film that's right for kids, and as an adult, you're not annoyed by it. The voices work well. Babe has that sweet nature to the voice that makes the character endearing. And it doesn't lollygag around. I guess my only nitpick is at the very end. Spoiler alert. In order to herd the sheep, it has to have a password. And then, granted, it gives the Hugo Weaving character a moment of redemption where he helps out Babe. But I guess it's one of those where technically anybody who has the password could have herded the sheep. Anybody. So it's not really the pig doing it because of what it could do. It's because he got the secret code, the cheat code. So I just, the ending with him hurting the sheep just didn't feel as earned. Because it's like getting the cheat code. Here's the password. Thanks, you gave me the password. I just think there's another way you could have done that where I think maybe earlier, either Babe is nervous and Hugo Weaving gives him confidence and that's his redemption. Like, listen, he believes in you. You see that farmer? He believes in you. And you don't want to let him down. I think that alone would have sufficed. And then it still would have been up to the pig to, on his own terms, herd the sheep and complete his journey of the movie. And then the fact that he needed a password and someone else had to help him get the password is like, all I had to do was say the password. Everything was fine. It's like, well, what did... I mean, technically then I could do it if I had the password. I don't know. I'm sure people are like, what... I don't know how else to explain it. That just bothered me a bit. That just bugged me a bit. But other than that, well done movie. Again, with effects that hold up fairly well still. And it doesn't have stupid juvenile humor in it. So, with that said, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.